It says here, damage, wear, rust, floor mounting hardware, secure, clean, and debris, smooth operation. So check, check, and check. Okay, so the next thing here, we're looking at the rudder control rod bearings. Inspect for damage, dirt, wear, debris. Inspect for proper lubrication, ease of motion. The bearings are secure to the frame. And then we'll also check out the brake actuator rod and inspect for damage, wear, proper lined. Ensure free flow range of motion. Inspect the horizontal, vertical movement. It's within tolerances. There really shouldn't be any. And we're going to be doing the same thing for the rudder pedal, the rudder control rod as well. So let's look down in here and I'll show you what's going on. This right here is the brake actuator rod, and it doesn't move around in there. Got one on this side over here. That's not moving. It seems to move freely. That one, not quite so much. It does want to hang up there at the top. So what I really need is I need stronger springs. I just used the extra springs from the, let's check this real quick. Make sure that these bearings are in there good. Yeah, they seem alright. They are screwed in from the bottom up. If one of those was loose, I'd have to take out the entire assembly to fix that. So that kind of sucks. So we'll look over on this side here, make sure that it's good. So here's the one brake control rod. It moves nice and free. There's the other brake control rod back in here. That moves pretty good. As you can see though, that bearing is hopping up and down right there a little bit. So I'm hoping that won't be a problem. During the annual, I might have to take this out and see what's going on with that. But for right now, it's actually not causing any kind of a problem, I don't think. It might be causing a little bit of binding because of that. But once again, I am attributing that, I'm attributing that to these springs on the back here. So, I don't know if you can see, this is the springs here. We're going to be checking out here pretty soon. Alright, so the rods, those are nice and tight in there. Alright, so that looks like that's done. Okay, so the next thing on the list is the upper and lower brake spring towers. We're going to inspect for damage, wear, proper alignment, if they're loose or anything like that. Make sure all the fasteners are properly secured. And the brake return springs, for damage, wear, proper alignment. We'll look at the spring to tower attachment points. Inspect the spring to brake control rod attachment points and ensure range of motion is free, clear, and smooth. And the brake return spring bracket. We're going to inspect that for damage, wear, proper alignment, ensure the mounting hardware is properly secured, and ensure range of motion is free, clear, and smooth. Here we are. I'm looking back here at the spring tower. So that looks pretty good. That's not moving anywhere. The attachment points seem to be good. This right here is a return stop. So just making sure that's good. See this spring right here, I just need a stronger spring. It's not near strong enough. So that looks good. And while we're here, I'm just going to go ahead. This is one of the items on the list in the future. A little bit here. I'm going to check the brake actuator rods and throw arms there. That seems fairly tight. I mean, I can still turn it. They're held on with nylon nuts so that they don't back out or anything. But I just have to make sure that they're at the proper tension because the hole in the PVC can wear a little bit. But that looks good. Look over here on the other side. So there's only one on each side for each pair of brakes. So I'll look down in here. Seems tight. Looks good. Looks good. the stop is a screw that's the head sticks out and allows it to catch on this screw right there. It sticks out, and I've got a cover over it, and then it just stops this arm from going any further forward. It looks good. I'll go ahead and check out the arm here. It seems to work really smooth. Nice and tight in there. Make sure the hardware is still secured back in here. Yeah, it looks good. So it's not moving anywhere. Alright, might as well just check the other brake actuators. This is the potentiometers from the Thrustmaster pedals, and I opted to go with a cantilever mechanism for actuating it, built out of some plumber strap and whatever these little black things are that go on the potentiometers. It's got like a little half moon shape. I've looked for those things on the internet, and I don't know what they're called. I've tried all kinds of different keywords and phrases, and I just can't find anything that comes close. But we do hear a little squeak in there. So something's got to be lubricated up in there. So we're going to have to check that out. And this seems to be nice and tight still. Yeah, there's no play in there. It's fitting against the potentiometer nicely. And I just mounted the potentiometers to some plumber's strap that's shaped in a kind of a Z shape there, and screwed it onto the back here. See the screw there? And then it gives it a little bit of adjustment too, so I can move it around a little if I need to change the trajectory. And we'll go over here and do the same thing with this side. Just check to make sure that it's doing. So there's also one potentiometer for each pair of brakes. Seems to work good. That's tight still. That looks good. The only thing that bothers me about this side is this piece right here. It's just so thin that, as you can see, it allows a little bit of movement. You see this one's nice and tight. You can't press back on it, but this one, you can see it does move a little bit there. So one of the things that I want to make sure is that these screws on here are nice and tight. Looks alright. This is basically the same design as the Cessna rudder pedals as far as how things work here. Alright, those look good.